The film begins with a woman named Leonora, who enjoys going out for a run. While she does so, the narrator explains that most murders are related to love and are rarely random. At the same time, we see a man waiting inside a van. It is her husband, Christian. When he sees her pass by, hatred takes over him, and without thinking, he accelerates to run her over. The narrator turns out to be an old detective who recounts this story to his daughter during lunch. Through their conversation, it becomes clear that he is convinced that Christian is guilty and that he has still not been able to leave the case behind. The detective continues his account, going back 3 days before the murder. That night, Christian and Leonora are awakened by his phone, which vibrates insistently at 3 in the morning. Irritated, Leonora demands that he show her who is calling, but Christian refuses, which raises her suspicions of a possible infidelity. She tries to snatch the phone from him, but he prevents her. The detective explains his background. Christian is co-founder of a construction company along with his friend Peter, while Leonora was a talented violinist who abandoned her career to take care of her sick son, Johan. The next morning after the fight, Leonora apologizes and he says that everything is fine. Then she takes her son to school and Christian goes to work, where he soon shows interest in one of his employees, Xenia. Later they meet alone at the construction site, and it is revealed that she was the one who called him the night before. Xenia demands that he choose between her or his wife. Christian hesitates. He loves Xenia, but his son is getting better and he wants to be a good father. This enrages the woman, who leaves angrily. Back at home, Leonora tries to access the messages on her husband's broken phone by calling the phone company, but she gets no results. Browsing Facebook, she finds a photo of Christian and Xenia together, smiling knowingly, which confirms her suspicions. Later, Christian returns from work and acts indifferent toward his wife, avoiding any closeness. Even so, that night they attend a company event together, where Leonora notices the evident attraction between him and Xenia, especially when Christian publicly praises her. During the party, Leonora sees them go up the stairs and follows them, horrified to discover that they are having sex. Worse still, Xenia smiles when she sees her, while Christian does not realize that his wife is watching them. The next morning, Christian gathers the courage to tell Leonora that he wants a divorce, but she, filled with rage, confesses that she saw them the night before. Then the situation becomes complicated. Leonora reminds him that she sacrificed 20 years of her life and her career to take care of their son, and that if they separate, she will have nothing. She threatens to report him to the police, since she knows that he committed fraud in his company to enrich himself. Christian tries to offer her money, but she rejects it. She says that it is not about money, but about the promise they made as a family. Later, Christian seeks out Cassandra, Leonora's former best friend, without knowing that his wife is following him. In the conversation, he tells her that he plans to get a divorce. Cassandra warns him. When Leonora was young, she had a boyfriend named Mike, who died after falling from a cliff. According to rumors, Mike wanted to leave her for another girl, and some believe that Leonora pushed him. Christian sees this as an opportunity to use it against her and looks for Sonia, the woman with whom Mike was cheating on her. She tells him that that night they were camping and making love when she felt that someone was watching them. Mike stepped away to smoke, and shortly afterward she heard his scream. They found him dead at the foot of the cliff, and Cassandra swore that she had seen Leonora at the place. While Christian continues investigating, we see that Leonora stalks him closely. The detective clarifies that, at the time, the police questioned the neighbors, and that Leonora's music teacher stated that she was practicing the violin at that hour, which cleared her of all suspicion. When Christian returns home, Leonora orders him to leave, but he refuses because he fears that she will report him. He then tries to blackmail her, reminding her of the rumor that the townspeople believe that she killed her former boyfriend Mike. Leonora, annoyed but calm, replies that no one has proof and that she does not care. Then she tells him that the only way she will not turn him in to the police is if he stays with her, and she forces him to call Xenia to end the relationship. However, Christian cannot do it because he still loves her. Furious, Leonora pushes him and throws him out of the house, screaming that the house and her son belong to her. The detective comments that animals, when they feel cornered, attack, and that is precisely what Christian does. He plans to get rid of his wife. he goes to his office, switches his car for a white van, and heads toward the path where Leonora usually runs every afternoon. It is a rainy day. From among the trees, he waits for her, hidden. When she passes by, he accelerates and runs her over. Seeing that she is still moving, he reverses and runs over her a second time, showing no mercy. Then he flees and discreetly returns to the office to pretend that he has been working the whole time. Later at home, he avoids looking at his son and breaks down crying in the shower, tormented by guilt. He tries to calm himself by drinking something until the unthinkable happens. Leonora returns home, alive. Christian is paralyzed. She acts completely naturally, asking him if he has already decided to leave his lover, and comments on how pleasant it was to change her jogging route that afternoon. Then Christian understands, horrified, that he ran over the wrong person. That night, Leonora asks him if he came back because he still loves her. He answers yes, although we know that he is lying. The next morning, as they are about to leave, a neighbor tells them that a woman died after being run over the night before, right on the path where Leonora usually runs. Both are shocked. Leonora goes to the accident site and discovers that the victim was a mother of 3 children. A few days later, a graduation party is held at their house. In the middle of the celebration, the detective appears to question Christian about whether he saw or heard anything strange that night. He says that he was working overtime at the office, and the officers leave satisfied with his answer, but guilt does not leave him in peace. He looks at Xenia's unanswered messages, uncomfortable during the party, and then visits the place where he ran over the woman. There he observes a small altar with messages written by the victim's children. Consumed by remorse, he goes to the police station to confess the crime, but they ask him to wait. Meanwhile, he receives a message from his son and remembers that he does not want to disappoint him. Just then, he sees on the news that the police believe that the person responsible for the hit and run has already fled the country, so he changes his mind and leaves without making a statement. However, Leonora begins to suspect when she notices that her car wash card has run out of credit. She goes to the place to ask and obtains a security recording that shows the date and time when the card was used. That same night, she confronts her husband. The video reveals that Christian washed the white van that he used to run over the woman. Seeing his guilty expression, Leonora confirms what she feared, that he tried to kill her. She calls the police, but Christian snatches the phone from her and lies, saying that they were going to report a suspicious truck with a foreign license plate seen in the area. He then tries to calm her and gives the phone back to her, begging her not to leave. But Leonora, terrified, flees in her car. Desperate and without hope, Christian is left alone. Shortly afterward, the detective appears at the house. Christian hugs his son, telling him that he loves him, convinced that he will be arrested. However, the police officers only want to ask him more about the supposed foreign truck. His nervous attitude raises the detective's suspicions even more, although he does not have enough evidence to arrest him. That night, Christian receives a message from Leonora. She wants to have dinner with him. During the meal, she confesses that she would never report him because she only cares about her son and does not want to ruin his life. But she also makes it clear that she no longer trusts him, and that if he wants to win her back, he must prove his loyalty by killing Xenia. As long as that woman is alive, Leonora says, their marriage will remain in danger. Leonora seduces Christian to convince him, assuring him that he only needs a good alibi, just like the one she had when she killed her ex-boyfriend Mike. She then reveals the whole truth. That night she followed Mike and Cassandra into the forest, watched them make love, and when he was left alone, she pushed him off the cliff. Then she ran to the school, entered through the music classroom window, and pretended to be practicing the violin with a recording playing in the background. When her teacher came to check, he found her playing, which gave her a perfect alibi. Determined to repeat the formula, they plan a vacation at a hotel as an excuse, while Christian must murder Xenia by staging a robbery. When no one sees him, he climbs down the balcony and heads to his lover's house. She, annoyed because he has been avoiding her, tries to throw him out, but he insists on talking and hugs her, telling her that he loves her more than anyone. Meanwhile, Leonora at the hotel calls room service and casually mentions that her husband is in the shower to reinforce her alibi. She also uses Christian's phone to send Xenia a fake message, saying that he is ending their relationship because he prefers his wife and his son. Xenia receives the message just as Christian tries to distract her, knowing what it says. He kisses her passionately to keep her from looking at her phone. In parallel, Leonora takes the deception one step further. When the waiter delivers the food, she plays a recording of Christian's voice to simulate that he is in the room talking with her. But everything changes. Christian cannot kill her. Instead, he spends the night with Xenia, trying to convince himself that he still loves her. Later, Xenia goes to the bathroom, notices that the window is open, and when she turns around, she finds Leonora behind her. The woman brutally stabs her in the abdomen. Christian, noticing that Xenia is taking too long, goes in and finds Leonora covered in blood, standing over the lifeless body of his lover. Days later, the neighbors report Xenia's disappearance. The police enter her house and discover that her electronic devices are missing, but there is no body nor traces of DNA. They only find the last message on her phone, coming from Christian's number, where he breaks up with her. This leads the officers to question the couple again, although the detective remains convinced that something does not add up. He then decides to send tracking dogs to the forest near the couple's house. Meanwhile, Christian and Leonora organize a party. Leonora, seeing the detective approaching, orders Christian to light a large bonfire by the lake. The dogs begin to bark in that direction, while he, nervous, tries to light the fire by pouring gasoline. The matches go out again and again, until the fire finally catches. Through the binoculars of a nearby woman, Christian observes the inside of the bonfire and sees Xenia's body burning among the flames. Sometime later, the family sells their house and moves away. In the final scene, Christian is seen walking alone along the edge of the lake, with a backpack on his back. The story returns to the detective, who finishes telling the story to his daughter. He explains that Christian was never convicted due to lack of evidence, although he is sure that he is guilty. The film closes with a disturbing image, Xenia's bones resting at the bottom of the river.